Hello everyone. Welcome back to Reddit Night, your favorite Reddit reading channel. Today we are back on our /AskReddit with some scary stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Serious, what is the creepiest strangest scariest experience you ever had in your life? Worked emptying an old house. The house was infested with cockroaches. The whole house felt depressing. We emptied the basement. It always felt like someone was right behind us. There was a cut rope hanging from the ceiling. The woman that lived there had hung herself. We didn't find out till the last week of work. We never went down to the basement alone after that. Nothing super exciting besides almost getting hit by lightning. It was insanely loud. I got an instant sunburn and my body felt static like for a few hours. I was just about to step out of the garage and it struck in the yard between the garage and house. Was checking the cows one morning. And was watching the calves play and counting them all. When I heard an odd sound in the woods. It sounded like a woman crying. And I walked around. That's when it started screaming at that point. So I said frick this, walked back to the youth. And went home. In all reality I knew it was a mountain lion. I didn't want no part of that crap. Coming back from a New York Giants football game as a 12-year-old, we were driving past a bunch of old abandoned factories when I saw a teenager in rags and what looked like chains around his body limping away from one of the factories like he just escaped from a horror movie torture chamber. By the time I told my friend's dad, we were already past where I saw the kid. Very strange. I know what I saw that day and it was something serious. My freshman year in high school I was taking choir class. We were staying after school practicing for our concert later that month, and one day my teacher ended up calling practice about an hour early. We all started calling our parents to let them know we were finishing practice early that day. One of the girls in my class had left her phone at home that day. She asked if she could use anyone's phone to call her mom. Of course I offered mine and she called her mom. From behind me, where she was sitting, I hear her crying. She asked me what my number was. I was confused but I recite my number back to her. She still has my phone to her ear. And tells me your number is my aunt's old number. She passed a year ago when she called her mom with my cell phone. Her mom received an incoming call from her sister that had passed. It was the craziest strangest thing. Not scary or bad, but still something I think about. I was in middle school when this occurred, so I was around 12 to 13 years old. My best friend and I were next door neighbors, so we often walked to and from the bus stop for school. We were walking home one day from the bus stop when an old red pickup truck slowly drove by us. We didn't recognize this red pickup as anyone that lived in the neighborhood. It was a small neighborhood. The truck was going the same way we were walking and we could see the driver lean forward and it looked like he was looking at us. He then sped off down at the end of the block and turned around the corner. My best friend and I looked at each other and said that was weird. We shrugged it off since there were some houses for sale on the block and we did happen to walk by one. We were halfway down the block when the same red truck turned from the corner and was heading towards. He was speeding down the road, but as he approached us he slowed down. The man's driver's side window was now rolled down. I don't remember much of what he looked like, but I do remember him having face tattoos. Now we were worried. As we passed him and he slowly passed us. I happened to look behind me to make sure he was still driving. Nope. His brake lights light up and his truck jerked when he placed it into park. I saw the driver door open and I yelled to my best friend, run. We proceed to sprint to my best friend's house since her mom was home and no adult was home at mine. We practically throw open the front door of my best friend's house and slammed the door closed and locked every lock on the door. My best friend's mom was mad at us for slamming the door until we told her what happened. As we were telling her this, the same red pickup truck slowly drove down the street as we watched from the front window. We could see him looking around as he drove slowly. I'm pretty sure to this day he was looking for my best friend, and this scared her mom enough to call the local police department's non-emergency number. This guy circled the block of my neighborhood twice while she was on the phone with the police department. Police started to patrol the neighborhood, but we didn't see the red pickup truck after the police showed up. I have no idea what happened after that, but we never saw the red pickup truck. We weren't walking to the bus stop for a week after that. My best friend's mom drove us to and from school for that week. I was an 18-year-old Canadian female living in Hong Kong by myself to study Cantonese. One of my good friends wanted to show me Macau. It's been called the Chinese Las Vegas. I agreed, and we boarded the ferry at around 8 at night. It takes about an hour to get there, so we arrived at about 9. We took off to the casinos and had a great night. On a whim, my friend asked me if I wanted to go to mainland China on another ferry from Macau. I had never been to this particular area of China, so I said sure. Problem? My friend went through the immigration for the last ferry, and I was right behind him. I was denied because I didn't have a visitor's visa for mainland China. My friend was Chinese, so he had no problem. 18-year-old me had no idea this was a thing, as Macau and Hong Kong don't require them, and they wouldn't let my friend back in. Best part? My phone was dead. I was kicked out back to the streets of Macau, with no way to contact my friend and no idea how to get back to Hong Kong. At this time it was about 1 a.m. I'm walking the streets, looking in convenience stores for phone chargers, panicking, having no idea what to do. As soon as I left a convenience store, a man come up to me and asked me how much. Mind you, I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, with running shoes, but that's besides the point. I told him no, and kept walking. He followed me. It's dark, I'm walking down a street, I have no idea where I am, and my phone is dead. I can hear him getting closer behind me. I realize up the street is an alleyway, and I remember thinking this is going to end badly if I don't do something. Just as I suspected, I get closer to the alleyway and I hear him start running up to me. I turned around and his hand was reaching to grab me, and punched him as hard as I could in the face. He didn't fall down, just took a few steps back and held his face. As luck would have it, a taxi was going down the street. I jumped in and just screamed "Go!" in Cantonese. I finally managed to find my way back home, but oh my gosh, I was so stupid. A friend and I were riding our bikes in a neighborhood on a lovely, breezy summer day. We found a paved hill, so went down it and came to a run-down house just behind a bunch of other houses. Outside this house there was a tall, spindly cross. We both swore that the wind stopped blowing entirely and clouds had suddenly filled the sky. Hightailed it out of there after the eerie silence got unbearable. A couple of weeks later we went back and it was gone, nothing left but dirt. In retrospect, it was probably nothing at all, and the change in weather could have been due to the trees in that area at the bottom of the hill that stopped the wind, but as young kids we were spooked. There is a small cave system near my house, and me, my brother and a friend decided to go explore it one day when I was about 8. The cave starts out being quite spacious and is even equipped with light, as it is located in a bit of woods near the town, so lots of people go in it. But we decided to move further than this known part, the ceiling getting closer and closer with each turn. After 20 minutes or so we come to a point where we have to continue on our knees until eventually we can't progress unless we crawl on our stomachs. No natural light is to be seen anywhere, but we still decide to do it. We crawl for quite some time before I start panicking. There is no way to turn around in this position. There is no way anyone would hear us screaming for help if we get stuck or hit a dead end. No one even knows where we went. Cell phones weren't a thing yet. Luckily, eventually the ceiling got higher, light became visible, and we found an exit, but damn, I was never so scared for my life ever again. One night I was waiting for my, now ex-boyfriend to get home from work. He was due any minute. I was sitting on the couch in the living room, and had a clear view of the front door. I see the front door knob start to rattle, and our new puppy started losing her mind. She would get in between your legs and trip you up, so I just took a couple minutes to calm her down, figuring my ex would make it inside before I managed to get her out of my way. But the door doesn't open. I figure maybe my ex is struggling with his tool bag and other work stuff, so after I get the puppy calm I go and open the front door. No one was there. I thought maybe he went back to his truck, so I shut the door and wait for him. Several minutes pass. I call him and say, "Hey, where'd you go?" He asks what I mean. I asked, "Weren't you just here? You tried to open the door?" He said he'd gotten caught up talking to his mom as he'd swung by his parents' house, and he was still about 15 minutes out. I was creeped out, but chalked it up to my drunk neighbor trying to get into the wrong apartment again. The next day I found out another neighbor had opened their door to someone and gotten tied up and robbed at gunpoint. I don't know if it was the same person at my door. I don't know if that would have happened to me, as I had a habit of just opening the door without checking the peephole. I was really naive. But I was really grateful that my puppy kept me from opening the door immediately. And really grateful that my ex had gotten me in the habit of locking the front door when I'm home. This is just weird, not scary. Years ago, I met a little kid, maybe 5 years old. Out of the blue, this kid said, "I used to bite people when I was you." The thing is, I did bite others when I was a little kid. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.